Understanding where you are in your overspending or underspending can be very overwhelming. So instead of getting stuck in a tangled web of numbers, I want to show you how to consider a red light and a green light report. Hi, I'm Teresa Clark, and I'm a CPA with over 25 years of experience serving 501c3 nonprofits. See, my passion is to help nonprofits answer money questions so that they can move on to achieve their mission. So think of me as a strategic partner to mastering the money. You can visit my website for more resources. All right, so this is one of my favorite tools to use. I want to introduce you to it today. It's a tool that I recommend using about 3 times a year, maybe at the end of the first, second, and third quarter. Obviously, come into fourth quarter, it's all in your rearview mirror. But those first 3 quarters of your fiscal year, you could really benefit from seeing this analytical look at information. Okay, so depending on the software program you use, you might have to move over some numbers to Excel and really work with them there. Ideally, you have an accounting program that's sophisticated enough to pull this, but most of the nonprofits I see, they kind of need to use the in-between. So using Excel would be a way of going about it. And what you want to have is you want to have a couple of things. You want to have what your annual budget numbers are. Then you're going to have what you've actually spent year to date. And then you want to have what your budget spending should be year to date. Now, you might say to me, aren't, isn't it like a variable, like 1/3 when you're, or 1/4 when you're in the first quarter? Well, it depends. You might have some items that are seasonal. And I would really recommend allocating your budget according to when you plan to spend them. So it becomes a cash flow plan. We'll talk about that in another lesson. But then in that case, your budget year-to-date numbers won't just be a fourth in the example of first quarter. They're going to be maybe 100% because that event activity happened in the first quarter. Okay, now using that, you need a column of math, okay? And that math is going to show where are we at as a percentage to the annual budget. So again, maybe you're spending, it's 12-month linear kind of spend, and at the first quarter, you're 3 months done with a 12-month year. So you're right sitting at 25%. Well, if that number's over 25%, here again, it kind of prompts a question, right? And then if it's also a budget year to date to an actual year to date, that's going to be a dollar amount that you can look at similarly. And what I would recommend is then sorting your budget results for those things that are ahead of budget or over budget and looking more into them. For example, review the detailed ledger. See what money was being spent on. The purpose of this and look deeper is really so that you know what's going to happen going forward. For example, maybe you catch in there that, oh, we forgot to budget for the copier and we're going to have that expense every month. Okay, you might need to tweak your budget as a result of that information. Or maybe there's something in that spending in the detailed ledger that you begin to realize, oh, it's in the wrong category. Like that should be over here instead of there. So you can make some corrections, okay? Okay, now the biggest thing is you're continuing to ask yourself, what does this mean going forward? And I really don't want budgets to feel like a straitjacket and like a restrictive red light tool. So I really want to introduce you to another way of using that analysis that you've put together. And that is there a green light in here? Meaning, look at the other extreme of those spendings. What spending items are way below their percentages and have a huge amount of dollars left over for the year? Well, these become the opportunities. And I would say that this is often a place that money's just left on the table. We budget to do something and then we don't do it. Well, mid-year, let's make a mid-year correction and put those resources somewhere where they can be used. Or maybe you have a staff member who's not needing the resources they asked for. Well, maybe they have something else they're dreaming of and we can reallocate. Or maybe you have a staff member who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing and money's not getting spent. Well, it'll also bring that to the surface. Okay, well, I hope this is helpful. I know we all need a strategic thinking partner. I spoke about a lot that's really numerical. And so if you need some help crunching some numbers and getting a template set up that'll help your organization, by all means, reach out. I'd be happy to do that. Don't hesitate to jump on my website and book a strategic consult with me. Or if you're just looking for more tips like this, you can subscribe on my website so that you don't miss every week when I send out something that I hope will help you in what you're called to do.